white ball. Looked like the big fella, Charles Bediako, at almost 7 feet, was the guy that got a hand on it, but instead it's off Uros Plavcic. You're looking at him right now. He's going to be a starter. So it's like 7 feet against 6'11" in the middle. But we came into this thinking this is going to be about the backcourts.
Interesting. Uros looked at the official and said, there's no way I won the tip. I mean, he knows he's not a high jumper.
Javon Quinterly, another one of those Northeast guys out of New Jersey. Keon Ellis starting to come on offensively. Like to see number 14 be a little more aggressive. Quinterly kicks it to him in the first three. Around, down, and out. And Santiago Vescovi with the rebound. Tennessee will try to push.
Both teams are averaging 28, 29 three-point attempts per game. Very aggressive on the offensive end for both clubs.
And Olivier Kumwa knocked that one down on the baseline. Back the other way, Gary. Kick three for Shackelford. He fakes it. And they move that ball around like a hot potato.
Yeah, the ball has been hot, and Tennessee's defense has been just as hot to start the game.
Shackelford, their best three-point shooter. That's off the front of the iron. And Vescovi picks up his second rebound.
Shackelford has not shot the ball well the last 3 games. Now 5 out of 21 from that three-point line.
They got 9 on the shot clock. Plavcic, tough shot, and that never really got above the rim.
Yeah, the ball never got to the other side of the floor either. Got stuck on the far side.
Quinterly will try a three. They've tried 3 of them, and they've missed them all.
Well, Tennessee really forming a good, hard cup around that rim on the defensive glass to start early.
Vescovi gets it way down low. Perfect, and that's where Kumwa was. And it looks like Juwan Gary is going to pick up the foul, and it is, in fact, on Gary. Kumwa says, I like intimidation. I like confrontation. With the injuries that they have, he's going to have to play a big game tonight.
Well, and he has not been scoring at a high level against the best competition Tennessee has played. However, against Arizona, he was fantastic with his ball screen defense. He had 3 or 4 blocks. He cleaned up the defensive glass. But without Fulkerson, even on the trip right now, 13 in orange, Rick Barnes has to be a double-figure scorer tonight.
It's Kumwa 4 and Alabama nothing. And Quinterly, off the pressure from Tennessee, pushes it.
Alabama will run after a make as quickly as they run after a miss.
Quinterly to the rack, lays it up and lays it in. They'll take threes and they'll take balls at the rim if they can get them.
Boy, quick on quick, huh? Was it not? Quinterly versus Double Z.
Zakai Ziegler had no significant offers to play college basketball about 6 months ago. And tonight he starts. 3 ball, no good. Offensive rebound, Kumwa. Vescovi, he launches a 3. That's no good. And Plavcic there, blocked once. Boy, that ball looked like it was almost picked off the rim by Kumwa. He misses. Plavcic there. We may get the foul on the shot on Kumwa.
Yeah, it looked like it was taken off the rim because it was taken off the rim. Yeah, Tennessee just pounding that offensive glass, and they are a very good Tennessee chew up the offensive glass team, and they get it from 3 or 4 positions. And Kumwa finally gets the contact, but Tennessee sending a message early how this game's going to be played.
The foul offensively. They get it on Plavcic there for a push.
Still a concern, right, for Alabama?
Absolutely. It's a little deja vu of the Houston game all over again.
Deja vu all over again. That's a lot.
That happens more than once, yeah. Inside, good dish, Quinterly. And it gets it to Ambrose Hilton, who makes his first appearance. Back the other way, Ziegler. That ball was blocked, but they're going to get a foul. And we'll see who the foul is going to be called against.
Man, how quickly these teams both put pressure on the rim. You see Quinterly with the Steve Nash drive behind that backboard and looks for a cutter, and a really good job of cutting off that baseline attack by Ambrose Hilton.
So Keon Ambrose Hilton getting some early minutes here. One of the things that Nate Oates said about his disappointment in his team's defense, they've lost 2 of their last 3, and really their defense has let them down. They gave up 92 to Memphis, 79 in a loss to Davidson. And he said, look, you're a starter. You may not be starting the next game. We're looking for guys with effort. Ambrose Hilton practiced really well. He's on the floor early.
Well, you and I did the Houston game, and then I did the Memphis game and watched the last 2, but they've been beaten off the bounce, Alabama has, consistently. And those blow-by straight-line drives are impossible to rotate over quick enough and keep teams off the offensive glass. The team in white tonight better sit down and stand some guard.
The substitutions early. Brandon Huntley Hatfield is in for Tennessee, number 2. Victor Bailey now in, number 12.
Well, can you stay in front of Quinterly? The first thing that you have to decide when you're playing Alabama.
Shackelford contested 3. That's too strong. He's missed his first couple, and Bama is 0 for 4 from deep. Vescovy left open for a second, now wide open underneath. That's a good look for Santiago Vescovy.
Boy, the things that cannot happen, Alabama's letting happen. That push, they're not getting attached, they're not talking, stopping the ball, leave a guy wide open at the rim.
Keon Ellis into the paint, a couple of steps. Plenty of time still. Quinterly 3. That's too strong. 0 for 5 in the defensive rebound to Tennessee. Wide open 3. Guys, thank you very much. Welcome, everyone, to the Coliseum here in Alabama. Tennessee off to a 7-4 start. That's the 6th 3-ball attempted by Alabama, and the first one that they've made. It's Noah Gurley, and just like that, we're tied 7-7. Carl Ravitch alongside Jimmy Dykes, as, of course, the SEC is underway. And, boy, Auburn looks really good. These 2 teams figure to contend with Auburn, with LSU, with Kentucky. Maybe Florida sneaks into the picture.
Ravi, this league is as deep as I've ever seen it in the last 25 years in terms of the number of teams that legitimately could win the regular season title. 5 or 6 deep, and that's rare.
Better defense this trip from Alabama. They've been a little shaky, having lost 2 of their last 3 games and a rough start, but now all of a sudden in a tie game and a better defensive stand on that last offensive trip for Tennessee. Quinterly left open, and again he misses. We watched Arkansas earlier today lose, and man, did they just keep hoisting threes, and they couldn't make any of them. Alabama's going to keep shooting their threes.
As will Tennessee. Tennessee shooting 29 three-point shots per game. Rick Barnes has changed his offense this year. Interesting, Tennessee shooting 38% from the three-point line when they shoot within the first 12 seconds.
More good defense. Ambrose Hilton has come in 22 in white and played really good defensively. J.D. Davison ready to come in at the scorer's table. Shackelford gives up the 3 to Ellis, who will drive and a reverse.
Good job by Ellis to make a play out of the corner instead of settling for a 3. And you talked about Alabama's DNA. It's open threes and rim attacks and free throw attempts. Well done by 14 in white.
He got 19 against Memphis and actually carried a team in a game against Jacksonville State where nobody else was really playing very well. Shackelford triple team. Quinterly will move it. Gurley, one more pass, and here comes Ellis again. Another reverse? No.
Tennessee dominating their defensive glass to start the game. All 5 guys scraping down, getting involved in the fight.
And they've got 4 offensive rebounds against Alabama's 0. Vescovy lost it. Ambrose Hilton, watch out. Yeah, that was not good from Jump Street.
But both teams are gassed. I mean, we're at the 13-minute mark and have not had a break. And get that ball side to side for Tennessee. Rick Barnes talked to us about it today. Make Alabama prove they can get deep defensive discipline.
Big fella launching a 3. That's off. Probably not the shot that Rick Barnes wanted from Huntley Hatfield. They're 0 of 6 from 3. They are 2 of 6 from two-point land. And rattling into 3 from the corner, Javon Quinterly.
Ravi, you have to be close enough to touch every time Quinterly and every time Shackelford catches a basketball.
Well, if Auburn has the arguably best home court advantage, Alabama's here to let you know, even without the students, this may be the best home court advantage. Vescovy, the ball fake, the drive, and the dish, and an easy layup. That's where they'd like to see Brandon Huntley-Hatfield shoot more often.
Good job by Hatfield to win the battle of the hips. I mean, he just exploded and blew up the hips of the defender to free himself up.
Quinterly got stuck in the air. Good defense that time by Vescovy, whose body, since we first saw him a few years ago, has changed dramatically.
Yeah, his body's changed. His name pronunciation has changed. I can't remember the last time I watched a game that you're at the 11-minute mark and finally get a dead ball. So that any long stretches of play most likely will favor Alabama in this game.
Yeah, Justin Powell into the game, 24, the Auburn transfer, very good shooter. But they like this matchup, and high above the rim, but a miss. Javon Quinterly, by the way, to the bench, 2 fouls. And Davidson, bad pass. That's picked off by Ziegler. Wide open underneath, and Powell's pass hit the rim. Alabama very lucky. Shot way too long and strong, but the rebound goes the way of Alabama.
You know, it's really difficult to rebound a bad shot, and that just was unlucky by Tennessee, and that's the speed that this kid brings. And you talk about the explosiveness as Kennedy Chandler, there's no drop-off in the rim-to-rim speed in this ball game with Ziegler on the floor.
No doubt about it. Toussaint Holt took that last 3 from Alabama and missed it. He's been practicing really well. Again, one of the stories we touched on, Nate Oates, critical of his team's defense. That's another turnover, and with Quinterly on the bench, Davidson has come in and turned it over twice.
Ziegler's hands are low and quick. Kid's 5'9", has that New York City toughness about him, 5 in orange.
He's only 19, should be a senior in high school. A little push off, got away with it, and then he buried it. Boy, have a game, Brandon Hatfield.
If Hatfield ever understands how hard you have to play every possession, the kid's got a chance to be special. But that part of the game has held him back so far.
Freshman 6'10", 246. Davison to Jawan Gary, way too long. And Alabama's three-point shooting has been brutal. They are now 2 of 10 to start the game.
Yeah, Gary kind of took the bait because Tennessee, they're kind of plugging the lane and using the rover off of Gary right now to see if he'll take the 3.
Whistle underneath. We'll take another timeout. We'll see if Alabama can deal with the Javon Quinterly 2 fouls early. While Tennessee comes in undermanned, but they're battling. 14-13, Alabama and Tennessee.
I love a good deal.
Alabama, Tennessee, a couple of top 20 teams we saw in the SEC earlier. Auburn knocked off LSU, and Quinterly back in, playing with 2, and he lays it up and lays it in. Those turnovers for Davidson didn't sit well, but they go small now with Davidson and Quinterly on the floor, and Powell right in his face knocks down a 3.
I'm going to say it again. Tennessee is shooting 38% from the three-point line in the first 12 seconds of the possession. It drops to 30% in the last 18. You must pick up Tennessee high and hot.
Interesting stat. That ball's off the hands. Davidson involved in another turnover.
Because I do have some uninteresting stats as well.
No, that one gets credit for interesting. Ziegler right by into the lane, looks for an open man. Powell, is he hot? Not there.
What a good find, though, by Ziegler. Under control the whole time. Mentioned Davidson's turnovers. He has a 28% turnover rate, this kid with the ball. That's way too high. And you see his potential and all the explosiveness about him, but defensively, he gets lost a little bit, and that turnover rate has to come down.
Yeah. Davison and Chandler, 2 of the top point guards coming into the 2021 season as far as top in the country, like 1 and 3.
Yeah, or 1 and 2, depends on what you look at, but both those guys have struggled. College basketball looks so easy to high school players on TV, and it's not. It absolutely is not.
Davison got stuck up in the air, and another turnover. Nate Oates starts marching down his bench looking for somebody to go in, and it turns into 3 for Powell.
What I say about high and hot with your transition defense against Tennessee.
Shackelford high archer, that's no good. That's a push from behind. Absolutely, you can see it from here. Noah Gurley.
So what do I mean by that, Ravi? Your transition pickup point, as Davison turns it over now for the third time and he's played 4 minutes, has to be now, right now. No, that's way too late. Why are you buried inside the three-point line when Vescovi's driving the ball at you? Nate Oates will ask the same question in the timeout, and he'll ask it on film tomorrow.
19-16, Jawan Gary in. Jason Holt goes out.
Ravi, it's hard to play a guy that's turning it over at a 28-29% rate like Davison is for Alabama. Very difficult to play extended minutes.
Jemai Meshack, 15 into the game for Tennessee. And again, a short bench. Reminder, no Fulkerson and no Kennedy Chandler. Vescovy,
what a find.
Dish, she found him. Kumwa got hit, able to knock it in with his left hand.
The second jump by Kumwa was electric. And the find by Vescovi was as good as you're going to see.
Tennessee has been ferocious on both ends of the floor on the glass. Look out. Well, how about the contact that was there, too, just into the game? Meshack, he got knocked backwards, but it led to a layup for Alabama.
Ravi, the Meshack was the double-up defender. You don't come over to Steele as a double-up defender. Steele didn't pay off. Gamble gets knocked out of the way. Open pass to the rim.
Vescovy using that body to drive. The lefty stays in, man. That tried to crawl out. Roll back in, and Vescovy and Powell was wondering what impact not having Chandler in the game. Chandler's assisted on about 33% of all of their points. He's not here tonight, and they're still able to score offensively with the other two guards. There's a big-time collision. Meshack and Gary.
Now, Vescovy is not going to beat you with foot speed, but you never start on opening night.
How about Auburn today? We saw Shebwe with 28 rebounds. How about Walker Kessler's performance tonight? 16 points, 11 blocks.
Yeah, that's a real team, Auburn. They are every bit as good as they were that year they went to the Final Four.
They got Flanagan back tonight, too, which was big for them. They have been the best team in the conference this year, and they have every box checked for teams that want to go deep in March.
Ravi, against Alabama, when they're coming with their run game, you must stop the ball, and the guy stopping the ball must point it out so everyone else can match from there. Basic, but very important.
10 now on the shot clock. Davison back into the game.
Hard to get through the elbows against Tennessee. They are so gap strong.
3 on the shot clock. Davison, the runner. That will drop in. So after the turnovers, he comes back in. One thing that guy can do is jump through the building.
Yeah, he's going to get the shot off over the top of any defense all year long. It's just a matter of how good is the look.
Powell, boy, he used to move to just get around and away from Davison, and he buries it.
I think he's going to be a key guy for Rick Barnes going forward. He only turns it over once every 62 minutes that he's on the floor, and he's a legitimate big-time shooter.
Another turnover for Davison. He dug himself a hole in the paint. Powell spins, and he loses it. And that is one of those rare turnovers for Powell.
Anytime you say Powell spins, that's a problem. That's not his game.
Shackelford gets the roll.
Ravi, I'm just telling you, Davison, I love the kid. I think he's very coachable, he's very tough, but that turnover rate is a huge problem for Alabama right now.
Davison had some big rebounds late in that game against Houston, and was able to go in traffic and take another one away. Chance for Alabama to tie. They're down 3. Davison will launch.
Bad shot.
But look at Shackelford get the offensive rebound. Another offensive rebound. Their third offensive rebound of the night. And we'll have some free throws.
2 times that Tennessee has not been able to rebound an air ball. Those are difficult plays to come up with.
Of course, Jimmy, here on this campus, they are getting all excited about college football with the championship game for Alabama as they try to move into the title game, the 2 semifinals coming up on New Year's Eve. But tomorrow we keep on bowling. We've got 4 more games on ESPN and the app. The free throw is missed. First game, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, North Carolina against South Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Then Tennessee. The Vols will take on Purdue in the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Wisconsin against Herm Edwards Club, Arizona State in the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. Another great day of bowl games. Fingers crossed they all get played. And everybody looks forward to Friday's semifinal games.
SEC off to a rough start.
Yeah.
In their bowls right now, but you know what? They got 2 of the 4 in that college football playoff, and that's where all the eyes will be focused.
Vescovi got Bediako in the air and then did a little give and go with Zakai Ziegler. Well, they are moving the ball quickly, and it's Ziegler now with 10. He'll get it to the corner. 3 ball buried.
Sometimes the ball deserves to go in, and for that time it was for Tennessee.
Yeah.
That ball went side to side quick. It never got stuck. The ball deserved to go in.
Josiah Jordan-James knocked down that 3. Just a terrific, versatile player. Allows Barnes to do a lot of things, both defensively and offensively.
That whole "it's not about me" that Tennessee hangs their hat on, it starts with him.
Bediako will go to the free throw line again. He threw his body into the defender, and he drew the foul. And it's on James.
I spent about 20 minutes with Rick Barnes in his locker room prior to the game, and he spent about 10 of those minutes talking about Dick Vitale.
Did he?
Because he's in constant communication with Dick. Emails him a specific prayer every day, and Coach, you're probably watching right now. Man, our thoughts and prayers continue to be with you, but no one is having more of an impact in that situation with Coach Vitale than Rick Barnes, a guy that his faith is very real to him, and he cares about people as much as anyone I've ever been around.
Was it Austin Crocier was at practice today earlier, and he said to us, "You see that guy over there? I love that guy. Played with me at Providence. I love that guy. He does have an ability to connect, which makes him such a great coach with his players." And, of course, as you mentioned, our buddy Dick Vitale, our thoughts are with Dickie V. Sounds like his cancer prognosis continues to improve. He's dealing with some throat stuff right now. And, of course, our fingers are crossed we get the captain back. But we all want him to take his time and make sure you're 100%.
Absolutely.
28-23, just about 4 minutes to go in the first half. Bailey, that ball deflected.
Still plenty of time. No reason to panic or feel the shot clock pressure yet for Tennessee.
Well, Vescovi just decided I'm going to go window washing, and he buried a 3.
And Rick Barnes just shook his head no. Immediately looked at Coach, and he's like, well, what are we doing? Get back on defense.
Made 4 of their last 5 threes. Shackelford will try. That's off. Crashing the offensive glass. Couple of white shirts. Ellis threw it off the side of the backboard.
Ravi, when you're struggling shooting the ball like Shackelford is, you don't shoot your way out of it taking questionable shots. You take good looks only.
How impressive has this been for Tennessee? No Chandler, no Fulkerson.
What a find.
And they are doing a great job with the interior passing. That time it was Bailey.
Ravi, but again, it starts with winning the elbow. Who wins the elbow? Tennessee won it, results in a big dragging over, an easy drop-off.
We were at shoot-around. What did Nate Oates preach all shoot-around? What did he keep harping on with his team?
That right there.
Defense and gaps. There's a 3 ball. That's good for Noah Gurley.
I think he's going to come on. I know he is. 35% career three-point guy that gives them a boost offensively from the 4 or the 5 spot.
This guy's been terrific. With no Kennedy Chandler, Zakai Ziegler has been outstanding. 5 turnovers in the game for Tennessee. Nearly had a 6th there, but they're going to get a kick. 8 turnovers in the game for Alabama. Jimmy said, take as much time as you need. Santiago Vescovi fired with 9 on the shot clock. Last year, Vescovi. This year, Vescovi. Either way, good 3-point shooter. And they're up 33-26. And Tennessee has come in here and now have a 7-point lead with 2:40 to go. They've gotten really balanced scoring from everybody, including that guy, Santiago Vescovi. That's no good. They crashed the offensive glass. It's going to go the other way. A hustle foul on Josiah Jordan-James, and he will come out, and he'll be replaced by Olivier Kumwa, who's had himself a first half. In 13 minutes, he's got 7 rebounds. Seems like a good night until you compare any rebounding effort to Oscar Tshiebwe. 20 more tonight.
Yeah, He's the real deal, man. When you can dominate a part of the game every single night like that kid's doing, I've already said, everybody's chasing him in the SEC for Player of the Year. Ravi, wounded teams like Tennessee being down 2 starters are dangerous teams. And Alabama needs to figure that out quick.
They're figuring out with Noah Gurley. He's got 10 tonight to lead the way. No one else has more than 7. That's Quinterly. Kumwa in and out. And Keon Ellis rips it down.
I don't mind it, though. He's a 60% three-point shooter. Kumwa is on the year.
Shackelford has struggled from the floor tonight, just 1 of 6, and he's 0 for 4 from 3.
Boy, Tennessee sits in those gaps, don't they? They load up to the ball.
Shackelford seemed like it was Ziegler who got him on the arm, but no call. And another turnover for Alabama.
You have to move Tennessee defensively before you attack a gap. You cannot attack the first side of the floor.
Yeah, bad pass in there. They try to get it down low to Kumwa, and Gary did a good job fronting. Davison now into the paint, and he nearly had another turnover. Gurley, they're going to get a block on Vescovi.
Vescovi was outstanding, not opening up his hips on that possession. Guarded the ball with his hips squared up the entire time, and then slid over what I thought was going to be an offensive foul. But Vescovi, boom, right there. I think he's set. And Gurley was a little bit out of control, but you cannot keep your hips any more square than what Vescovi did guarding the ball.
6 fouls on Tennessee, 5 for Alabama. 90 seconds to go. And Alabama inbounds.
Watch the drive.
Quinterly, he ran into a wall called Plavcic. Now Ellis with 10. Look at Ziegler, trying to get in front of Quinterly. That's a hard thing to do. When he goes reverse, that is a really difficult thing to do against a veteran like Quinterly.
Yeah, as good as Tennessee is loading up to the ball, they did not load up to the ball on the baseline. And Quinterly is as quick off that first bounce as anyone we have in this league.
Nate Oates trying to get his guy, Quinterly, with 2 fouls out of the game here with 1:12 to go, so he doesn't get his 3rd.
The ball, Gurley's starting to grow in his minutes tonight.
6'8", 210-pounder out of Fayetteville, Georgia.
Too quick.
Kumwa did launch it. Davison in traffic picks up another rebound. Shackelford stepped into that one, looked better, and it results in a tie game.
That's a much better look than the one I talked about 3 minutes ago. In rhythm, in transition, fire it every time if you're Shackelford.
A 10-0 run, partner. 33-33.
Good hard hedge by Gurley to knock Ziegler out towards the timeline. Kumwa.
No good. A chance for Bama here with 25 in the first half to grab a lead as we go into a break.
Especially in those transition threes.
All right, Quinterly back in the game. It's Alabama. Gets the ball to their star point guard. He looks up at the big clock to see he got about 10 now.
Most important thing for Tennessee is to stay in front of the ball. Stay in front of the ball to finish your possession.
Now 5. Shackelford, ball fake. Gurley, let's see. That's off to the right, and that will do it. Got a good shot. Shackelford was the guy they wanted as the first option. No, they expected him back for conference play, but obviously that isn't happening, and he's not going full in practice yet at all.
Yeah, a tough kid that'll kind of set the rules of the game, how Nate wants to play.
That ball's deflected by Quinterly off the foot of Ziegler and out of bounds.
Just a bad handoff situation to start the half. Ziegler has been so good in the first 20 minutes.
Oh, he almost had a turnover himself. Tell you one thing you learned in the first half just watching him, and I know you've seen him before. There is 0 that rattles that guy right there.
No, none. He's, what do you have, 2 assists, no turnovers, a couple of steals. Always under control, just a defensive pest. And he has given Kennedy Chandler and Vescovi fits in that Tennessee practice facility over the last 3 or 4 months.
Sure has. 5'9" out of Long Island, New York, and he's one of the top plus-minus guys when it comes to per 40 minutes. It's like a plus 26. And they have often gone with Chandler, Vescovi, and Ziegler, which would almost match Alabama's great backcourt. Alabama probably has the best backcourt in the SEC. Ziegler makes Tennessee in that conversation. Nice pass, Quinterly. And boy, he had a wide open layup and he missed it, grabs the offensive rebound, and now he's going to get fouled. Bediako almost looking for contact instead of just going up to make the basket.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Bediako, I mean, first of all, how good defensively Ziegler was to cut off a jet quick drive by Quinterly. And yeah, Bediako just, the body contact plays bothered this kid. He's going to be a tremendous player. He's long, he can run, he's got good instincts. But those body blow plays right now really bother 10 in white.
1 for 4 from the free throw line in the first half, and he's able to get that one to go down. Charles Bediako, the freshman out of Canada, just a 45% free throw shooter on the season.
Ravi, he needs to stay on the floor defensively for Alabama, but he's averaging almost 7 fouls per 40 minutes is Bediako. When he goes to the bench, the opponents are shooting 64% at the rim. That's how important he is as a rim protector.
That's a big presence. Bama by 2. Quinterly's playing with 2 fouls.
Why'd you back off?
That's a mistake. Vescovy buries it.
Why? I mean, you're better off to have 2 high on the ball than nobody.
Shackelford, that was contested, and it's off the front of the iron. And watch Ziegler. That's a collision. Who's it going to be? It's on Quinterly. That's his third, a 50-50 ball. And they assess the foul to Quinterly, his third. Could have easily gone the other way.
Either way, but really, who's the first guy to the ball is going to get the favor of it. And Ziegler, the first guy to the ball. Boy, how pleased will Rick Barnes be so far in this game with his freshman point guard Ziegler thrown into that starting lineup, going blow for blow against an explosive backcourt.
Yeah, but circle that. 19 minutes to go in the second half, and Javon Quinterly just picked up his third foul. And he'll stay in the game. Ooh, Ziegler right by him. And he's short with that little underhand layup.
Yeah, Tennessee went empty corner, allowed Ziegler for a pass.
Keon Ellis out of control, threw up an air ball. No foul. There was really no contact. Vescovy all the way to the rack
by Plopsic. What a play by Plopsic, Ravi, to get out in front of the defense, run the floor, seal off his guy, and open up the lane. A tremendous play by 33 in orange.
Quinterly out of control. He drives, he got the bucket, and he will shoot a free throw.
Quinterly has become an outstanding finisher in traffic, shooting about 61% himself on shots around the rim. And I'm going to say that's an around-the-rim shot. Although it was 6 or 7 feet away, he has really developed that part of his game from last year to this year.
Yeah, he is mature, and it's so important right now to Alabama. Davison is on the bench, 5-star point guard. First half, 5 turnovers in 10 minutes.
Ravi, to your point about his maturity, talking Quinterly, he is now concerned about the right things. Last year he was distracted with the things that don't really matter. And the things that count the most can't be counted, and he has finally figured that out.
So the number of games I do with you, I always count that, but that
doesn't matter.
That's not important.
It's the bonding and the toughness that you're learning around me that is way more important than the actual number.
Yes. 5 on the shot clock. Whoa, that's a big-time push. No ball. Wow.
That has to be something.
Extended that left arm.
That has to be something, right?
Absolutely. And now more bodies collide. Quinterly launches a 3 way off, and this one's getting physical as it goes out of bounds.
Tennessee plays a high-contact game. They always have, but that's either a charge or a block, but it certainly is a call. And this is a terrific crew. Joe Lindsey and Chuck Jones and Owen Short as good as anybody out there, but a whistle should have been blown on that one.
Cumwall's got 8. Tennessee by 2. Typical Rick Barnes team here. Tough, physical, defensive. Ziegler no good. Offensive rebound. Plavcic, James. That's off. And another ball loose, and it's finally Shackelford who comes away with it. He's a lefty, and did he lose it out of bounds? He did. They forced him to dribble to his right, and he lost the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Tennessee got right on the hip in the run game of Alabama and force that thing up the sideline. It's almost like an Alabama wide receiver being ridden out of bounds. Watch right here. Get on his hip, push him out, just right off the sidestep there of Shackelford.
Keon Ambrose Hilton back into the game. Bediako, who has not been a factor in 11 minutes. He's got 3 points, all of them from the free throw line, goes to the bench.
Yeah, we may see more of Gurley at that 5 spot this second half than anything else.
Vescovy has 13 to lead all scorers. More contact. They are just trying hard to get Quinterly his 4th foul. Humwa, hop step, lefty no good. Plavcic, the 7-foot on the rebound. They're starting to pile up those offensive rebounds, and it leads to a 3-ball from Bailey in the corner.
A tremendous, fast decision by Vescovy. He could have shot it. He ball faked and went to the wide open guy in the corner.
Ball stuck right now in Shackelford's hands.
Tennessee should load up to this side of the floor.
Shackelford, that's too strong. What good battle there. Loose ball. Hilton missed it. Good time for Kumwa to get up and get a hand in his face, if not deflecting it.
It seems like Tennessee is winning the collisions at the rim.
Haven't seen Darius Miles for Alabama tonight. He is available. He just hasn't played. Bailey, free throw line extended, no good. There's a box out, and the crowd's going crazy. They thought it was a foul on Kumwa. Out of bounds off of 13 in orange. It'll be Alabama basketball.
The right decision by Vescovy. Gets a wide open 3. He turns down a 3. He takes up the slack in the defense. He wins his gap and forces it to the open corner 3. Well done by Tennessee. That Alabama exhaled when they heard the news because they've been on point playing hard the entire ball game. That's the first thing I wanted to see. But again, a wounded team is a dangerous team, and that's what Tennessee is right now on this floor.
Keon Ellis, well, that's a tough shot because Plavcic came out to defend it. They do get an offensive rebound, and Ellis goes into the lane. Gaps is a word you've used a lot tonight. Let's try to focus on what that means defensively for Tennessee and Alabama and shutting it off. Boy, good runner by Quinterly with a little hook shot.
Well, Quinterly had to go fight for that gap that time because it was kind of closed off, but it was closed off with the hands of Tennessee as opposed to the body, allowed Quinterly to win the gap.
Quinterly's got 14 points. Vescovy, high arcing 3 short. Davison picks up another rebound. He's done that really well tonight. And now they got a mismatch with Davison dragging Plavcic, a 7-footer, away from the rim.
Good find.
Really good find. Davison, with his 4 rebounds, picks up his first assist.
And Davison is way better going to his right as a playmaker than to his left. That time he went to his left under control, delivered on time, on target.
Vescovy, that ball was deflected. Ellis blocked it. And a foul on Juwan Gary. Keon Ellis blocked the 3-pointer from Santiago Vescovy. We had a lot of fun with Vescovy because last year we would refer to him as Santiago Vescovy. And then the great SID, Tom Sokoviak, says, but when he makes a reservation at a restaurant, he just goes by the name Bob.
Well,
it's easy.
I said it the other night, I think in Knoxville, during the Arizona game. It's Vescovy in Spanish. It's Vescovy in the South. And everyone around here still calls him, they call him Santi.
Yeah.
Or Santi up in Knoxville. But in our hearts, he will always be Vescovy.
He will,
right?
Sure will. Come up with a top 5 list of athletes who have changed their names sort of midstream. Or at least the pronunciation of it. There's a bunch of them. 3-point game. Quinterly.
Wow, so fast.
He is quick, and he got fouled. It'll go to the line again. He's taken over a little bit, Javon Quinterly.
Hard to guard. It's hard to guard speed, and that crossover is dynamic. I mean, he gets you leaning just a little bit, and bam, man, he comes hard and low and fast with that crossover, and it is over. Got excited about that one.
So did he beat him to the gap?
Yes. Well, there's no gap there because they ran an empty corner over there. There was no secondary defender, but even so, that speed is, it is special.
Quinterly knocks down another one. Remember, they ended that Davidson game on a 9-0 run, and Quinterly's shot came up short, would have given them a victory. Instead, they lost by one. 45 all now. Powell back on the floor for Tennessee. He goes baseline, and he kicks it. Bailey will keep it moving. Josiah James, that's too strong. Another offensive rebound. And how about Powell? Get it and give it. Good pass. Kumwa with a flush. Bailey found him.
A beautiful pass by Bailey. Not known as a passer, but man, he was spot on the roll. Got your arm on him. Right, watch this pass by Bailey. Right here, he's going to kind of use that ball screen to just get the defense guessing a little bit. And when he broke off to the right, his eyes immediately went to, where's my roll guy? And Tennessee 5 or 6 times a game, especially if Fulkerson's in the game, you're looking at 10 or 12 times a game that Tennessee gets you in that middle ball screen action.
That's right. Shackelford back in the game. He's 3 of 11. They'd love to get him on track. Boy, Powell just picked the pocket. And here comes Ziegler. Bailey's 3, way too strong. Rush shot that time for Tennessee in transition. Jawan Gary, an offensive foul called against J.D. Davison. And Nate Oates right in the ear of the official closest to him.
Again, if you don't move the Tennessee defense initially, very difficult to get to the rim. And Davison comes off this on-ball screen, and first of all, the defender was falling before Davison ever made the contact. Had that defensive player stayed in there, I would agree with the call. I thought he was falling before the contact ever came. You agree?
I love a good actor. I would agree. He was trying not to absorb the contact and yet make it seem like there was a lot of it.
Yeah, you want to sell it, but you don't give it away.
Right. Well, they just gave it away, and here comes Davison, and that's a bad pass. He's trying to get it through 4 different Volunteer arms to get it to Quinterly in the corner. So what's your assessment? Is the game moving too quick? Is he trying to do too much? Because he came in and he is a great player. What's the struggle tonight for J.D.?
Well, I think J.D. is a great athlete. I'm not sure I would say that he's a great player right now. His instincts are on target in terms of what he's trying to do, but to your point, he played in a very, very small classification in high school. I know he was outstanding in the summer leagues and things, but he's trying to make plays right now that just are not there.
Shackelford trapped in the baseline. That's a wide open 3, but Quinterly caught it standing out of bounds. By the way, Quinterly and Bailey have been kind of going back and forth with each other.
There's no back down with either ball club. And watch right here. You cannot step back in that deep corner to gather yourself for a shot. And players continue to do it time and time and time again. It is a sidestep into your shot, not a back step into your shot from the deep corner.
Tennessee by 2. 12 minutes to go in the game. Ziegler. Oh, they're going to get a foul on Gurley. And this crowd is, and neither is Nate Oates, pleased with the officiating, and Oates is screaming. And now looking for an explanation. Joe Lindsay, Chuck Jones, and Owen Short. Not going to be an easy last.
Officials, coaches to coaches, and coaches to officials is only going to escalate from this point forward, as it should.
Tennessee shorthanded tonight, playing without John Fulkerson and Kennedy Chandler. Ziegler, he'll get fouled and go to the free throw line on Jawan Gary. And that's the 4th foul on Juwan Gary.
So what does Rick Barnes do at the out of timeout? He goes right to Zakai Ziegler and says, I want to get your speed involved in this game. That's a set play to get Ziegler to the rim, ball on the glass, and if nothing else, get yourself to the free throw line. Very well done.
Ziegler's first free throw is good.
You know, he had Ziegler 18 points this year in their win against North Carolina out of Immaculate Conception High School in New Jersey. Just a dog tough kid, man. He's got a beautiful stroke, beautiful hair game. I mean, he's a whole package in terms of 5'9" freshman point guard. Dog's tough.
Bernard King, Ernie Grunfeld, Tobias Harris, to name a few that have come out of New York City in the New York area to perform really well at Tennessee. And Tennessee's done a really good job making for Shackelford. There's a good dump off, and Gurley stepped in and picked it up for the dunk. Ziegler right by, and he lays it up and lays it in. He came right back at Quinterly. And there is zero rattle in Zakai Ziegler.
The pressure that kid puts on the rim is as good as I've seen out of a freshman guard so far this year.
Oh, Noah Gurley re-exerts himself here with back-to-back buckets.
I just sensed it coming. I talked about in the first half. Gurley's productivity in SEC play is going to be a real shot in the arm for Roll Tide.
Ziegler's first taste of conference basketball in an atmosphere like this. And he going up against Quinterly, crossed him over. Now a wide open three. That's way too strong. Great setup by Ziegler. 2-point game. Bama can grab a lead with a three. Gurley's had the last 4. He's got 16 on 7 of 8 shooting. And a foul on Ziegler trying to stay in front of Quinterly.
Rev, I've been critical of Davison with 6 turnovers in this game, but this time just explodes and wins the battle to get to that mid-post area. And a really good job by Gurley to show his hands. Gurley didn't rotate down to the ball with his hands not involved. He rotated down with his hands involved, expecting the pass. Well done by 0-N-Y.
Handsy. Foul on Vescovy. So just back to Davison for a second, because Gurley, when Davison got stuck in the air, Gurley made a cut.
Yeah.
How much responsibility is on the actual receivers as opposed to the passer?
It's a 50-50 deal, but think about the importance of a cut. In terms of shot selection and points per play, nothing better than a cut for a layup in college ball, scoring 1.25 points per play. That's what you want ideally out of any offense.
Ziegler, another foul. And that'll send Alabama to the line in a 1-on-1 situation. All of a sudden, the whistles, maybe Nate Oates' message was received, but it's a little tighter than it was.
I personally love the brashness, borderline cockiness that Nate Oates has as a coach. And when you're the ball coach, the basketball coach in Tuscaloosa, you have to have that. Do you not? If you're going to make something of yourself in this city?
Why? You think there's another coach that already has established himself?
Absolutely.
Ziegler, spin move, good hands by Quinterly. And that's a terrible pass. Bailey can't convert it. Davison foul on Vescovi. He got whacked in the head by Santiago Vescovi.
Yeah, a good spin, but it better eat up the spin hand movement. Like you said, just a horrible, crazy, what are you doing pass? And this is going to be one of those single possession games, and you'll go back and say, we just gave one away right here for no reason.
Alabama 5 of 9 from the free throw line, and J.D. Davison will go back there. He'll shoot his first tonight in a 1-on-1 situation.
I think the last time we were here, we talked about famous people with great hair, known by their hair.
Yes, you did. I think you said the Worm, Dennis Rodman.
Yep. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback. Right?
Yeah, we left him off the list, right?
Cher.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley was on the list.
Did we have Rodman?
I think we added Rodman maybe the next thing. You texted me during the game. We added Rodman to the list. But that's some special stuff right there.
The JD claims that he hadn't cut it since second grade, which is impossible. I mean, it doesn't grow at that slow a rate from second grade until present.
That's his natural hair color? No, I am confirming that. I did confirm that.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
That's his natural hair color.
No, you're the Walter Cronkite of sports broadcasting for basketball when it comes to digging for the story. Plavcic, foul on Ellis. Let's see how the last 9:47 of this one plays out, because it feels like many times we're going to end up on the free throw line.
It does. You know another guy within our own ESPN family with great hair? Michael Schiffman, one of our bosses. I mean, I tried to grow mine out like his back during the pandemic. It didn't work out so well. Great hair.
But when you were rocking back in your days as a rocker, I mean, I assume it was down to your waist, was it not?
There are some pictures out there.
Motley Crue type stuff.
Very similar to J.D. Davison. There are some pictures out there. Game never even close. Hair, yeah, I could hang. And just what you expect in the SEC this year, all year long. This league, to me, is going to lead the charge in conference play in terms of just the body blow battles every single night. When you turn it on, they're tracking 7 or 8 teams right now for that NCAA tournament. These two teams here are built to go deep in March.
Yeah, Arkansas looks a little different this year than they did last year, man. Yeah. They didn't have J.D. Note today, but they are so dependent on that three-point shot, and they didn't make any. As Tennessee goes into a 2-3 zone here.
Not a lot of possessions by Tennessee this year in that 2-3 zone, kind of a stacked zone to start with.
Gurley will step into a three just off the back iron, and a good rebound and a hold. They're going to call it on Bediako. He was battling with Uroš Plavcic. And there's another one of those one possessions and another whistle.
Yeah, Plavcic does a good job of getting inside position. That's just a young kid, Bediako, trying to outwhip a grown man. And this guy's going to grow up within conference play this year and start winning some of those body blow battles that he's going to be involved in around the rim every night.
1-on-1 for Plavcic. Whoa! Check the backboard for Fissures, but that one did drop through the net.
Oh, man.
If you do that, could you seriously get the ball and say, I'm going to try to do that again? That's what he was trying to do the first time, but he sent it into the white square, and he's 2 for 2 on that trip. He'll stay in the zone with Tennessee up by 4.
They don't ask how you shot a 39 on the front 9. They just say, what did you shoot?
That's right. Ball fake Quinterly. No, that was not even deflected out of bounds. I think Quinterly got stuck up in the air, and then he was torn between am I passing or shooting, and he ended up throwing up an air ball. Good defense, a little switchier Tennessee, and the zone worked the last 2 trips down.
Rebby, what a gut check so far by Tennessee. Without John Fulkerson, who had 24 and 10 against Arizona, without Kennedy Chandler, and they have answered the bell so far with under 9 to go.
Alabama is 4 of 22 from 3. Vescovi had it halfway down. He missed. They're 6 of 23. Boy, Bediako just set a huge screen that almost took Vescovi out.
I believe Bediako is going to set between 70 and 75 ball screens per game.
Alley-oop, Bediako. Plavcic the foul, and Bediako and Plavcic chin to chin for a second. Bediako back to the free throw line for the 7th and 8th attempts tonight. He's made 3 of them. Alabama's had a little pipeline of kids from Canada. One of the assistants is familiar with the basketball north of the border. So Bediako find himself here. The freshman out of Brampton at 7 feet, 225.
Everybody was after him. Duke, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, Baylor tried to jump in there late. He had 7 blocks against Gonzaga.
2-point game, 8.5 left.
Middle ball screen, take up the slack.
Someone, there's contact, but that time Bediako went straight up. Didn't come down with his hands. Ellis through traffic. Davison free. Short. And they're going to get Bediako there. He slapped at it, and they got a piece of Plavcic.
But what a block by Bediako, because Tennessee had what they wanted, man. They had the ball in the middle third of the floor with a ball screen rolling out of it. And Kamwa tried to take up the slack, and Bediako just met him at the rim.
Kamwa's had a successful night with that little mid-range jumper. He had a wide-open jump shot.
He did. No, I'm not huge on stats, and you know that about me. But a long mid-range shot is the worst one to take. So I'm talking about a 17-18 footer. That's the worst shot to take in college basketball because you're getting about 0.71 points per shot off of that. And a layup, a cutting layup, gets you 1.21. And the game's pretty simple, Ravi. The quality of your shot versus the quality of my shot. That determines the outcome of most games.
And the three-pointer has taken over all of basketball.
It has.
It has taken over. Tonight, one team is shooting 17%. The other team is shooting 26%. Hard to win when you shoot 17% from anywhere on the floor. That's where Alabama is from 3. But they're right in this one, 56-53.
Staying with the 2-3 zone, you have to tag shooters.
Gurley. There you go, a little mid-ranger from about 8 feet away.
No hesitation by Gurley, nor should there be.
But Ziegler is so hard to stay in front of, and that time Keon Ellis tried, and he couldn't do it. He picks up the foul.
Roll Tide goes inside against the zone. Gurley goes to that high mid-post area, faces up, 18 points for number 0, keeping Alabama in this.
Without Chandler and Fulkerson. Ziegler's free throw is good. You know, speaking of hair, etc. with him, you think about ZZ Top, but as a basketball player, when Zakai Ziegler goes to the free throw line and he makes the basket, you have ZZ Bottoms, right?
I could just see your wheels turning during the timeout. You had something. No one has drawn more fouls in this game so far than Zakai Ziegler. He has drawn 5 fouls just off of his speed, quickness, and how low he plays, talking about 5 in orange. ZZ Bottoms.
ZZ Bottoms.
That's a good one.
We're going to keep that one. Vescovi just pushed the defender out of the way. It was Shackelford. Ziegler behind the back into traffic, lays it up, and he's fouled. Yep. And Keon Ellis may have got him on the head. It is so hard. These two guards, Quinterly and Ziegler, try to stay in front of them.
And he has a knack, Ziegler does, of getting into the defender just enough to put the game in the official's whistle. Now the 6th foul drawn by Zakai Ziegler in this game. When you grow up in the Bronx, you're not going to get shook in Tuscaloosa.
ZZ Bottoms really exploded in the Peach Jam as he drains another one, playing against guys that everybody knew a lot more about, and he shined And as a result, Tennessee said, all right, let's bring him on. By the way, they already had Chandler on the team. They got Vescovi. And Santiago Escovi gets one in the neck from Javon Quinterly.
The best pimento cheese sandwich in the world is at the Peach Gym. The best.
This is the pimento cheese. What is that? Is that here's the elbow. Vescovi nearly lost a chiclet.
Yeah, as Quinterly comes up into the shot motion, the chin of Vescovi takes the shot.
I'm not a big cheese guy. The pimento, is that like it's got a lot of things in it?
I'm not sure what it is. I've grown up in the South eating it all my life. So first of all, I should ask myself, what am I eating? I just know it's the best in the world.
It's the place to get it?
At the Peach Gym. It's homemade on soft white bread. Now, every coach out there knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Does it look like that?
Similar.
Okay.
A little bit more of an orange tint to it. There's some stuff in there. I'm not sure what it is. I guarantee you every coach listening to me right now understands what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Now, Quinterly missed the first. He knocks down the second. Alabama down by 4 with 6:50 to go.
How hard can you play without losing your composure in a game like this?
Ziegler that time hesitated. Ellis, there was no foul, and now they will get one. And they'll call that on Ziegler, and that is the 4th on Zakai Ziegler.
One that he wishes he has back. He is the point guard tonight with Kennedy Chandler out with COVID, and just let the play go. And you love the effort, but you're too valuable tonight to pick up one in the backcourt.
Yeah, just imagine the contact, though, that is going to be created by Ziegler, or that the Alabama defense is going to try to create against him. He is just a head down into traffic guy, and they're going to try to draw that 5th foul on him every time he has the ball. So he's going to be shooting a lot of free throws, or he's going to be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he's going to have to continue to play with his speed and not play, calm. You can't play the game right now with your foot on the brake if you're him. But he has to show his hands, Ziegler does, on any drive that he's involved in as a defender. He has to show his hands.
Alabama now makes 1 of 2 in their last 2 trips down, so they gave up a couple of free throws there, and it's now a 3-point ball game. Comwa had Plavcic. Instead, he let it go through almost like a decoy into the hands of Bailey.
A cut for a layup is the highest percentage shot, points per play, that there is in college ball. And there it was.
Davison thought about a 3 and had it. And you see Ziegler now. He's got to be careful on defense. Ellis, that's deflected. Kumwa, and a box out by Plavcic, and a foul called right away on Gurley.
What an effort by Kumwa to fly out at the corner shooter and disrupt the play. I mean, he could have kept his feet stuck around the lane area, just giving up on the play. That's not how Tennessee plays basketball. A fly-out opportunity, and Comwa chewed it up. And that's what Rick Barnes has always hung his hat on, man. A hard-nosed defensive squad every single night.
Last time Plavcic was here, he hit the backboard with his first one. That one just missed the backboard. It goes off the back iron. And then the second one, after he had hit the backboard hard, was a swish. He's 5 of 7 from the stripe. Trying to make it a 6-point game, and the second free throws have been a lot better than the first ones.
We knew that Plavcic and Comwa had to be big in this game without Fulkerson on the trip. Fulke and Chandler are watching right now, and this zone has been good for Tennessee on the possessions that they played it. Alabama going to try to do some action behind the zone, Ravi. You got to be careful if you're Plavcic.
Quinterly, high arcer, that's short. Offensive rebound. And a hustle there by James to pick it up. Thought for a second Gary was going to be the first one to it. James, quick 3. Too strong. How about Ellis in traffic to go get it? Okay, Gary looks like he's limping a little bit, Jimmy. I think he's not playing at 100%. There's that gap close right there.
Absolutely. And they didn't close that one. You get a 3 because of it.
Shackelford, that was 90% down, and it came out.
Man, you look up, was that a 6-point game with 5 to go? It feels like Alabama's in one of those, they need some back-to-back stops right now.
Yeah.
The number of possessions left in this game, you can almost start counting on a single hand for both teams.
Humwa kicks corner to Bailey, who takes it into traffic, and he throws up a brick.
Horrible shot. You got to attack the gap with your Bailey right there and keep the ball moving, man.
Ellis. That's too strong. Jimmy, Alabama this half, 11 threes attempted, 0 have gone in.
0
for 11. And 4 for 27 in the game. 14%. Ziegler dribbled right out of bounds. Rick Barnes is asking a lot of Ziegler. Ziegler seems up to it. But here we are, 4:27 to go in the game. On the road, first conference showdown. There's no backup plan. Chandler's at home. And they stay in the zone, which obviously will help keep Ziegler out of foul trouble.
To me, he's the MVP of the game right now for Tennessee, if they go ahead and win the game.
Ellis. Finally, they get one to drop. They'll keep doing it. 5 for 28 in the game and 1 for 12 in the second half.
Alabama, they're going to stay true to who they are, and that's who they are.
Near turnover. Alley-oop, Plavcic. He lost it.
Got numbers.
Shackelford. He ran out of room, but Gary there, and he puts it back up and in. Shackelford dragged 2 defenders with him, and it's a 1-point game.
I would take a timeout if I'm Rick Barnes.
He is. I'm not going to take Augusta's name and spoil it with any peach jam. I just didn't want to do that. Here we go, 3:30 to go, 1-point game.
Rick Barnes has gone to Ziegler out of timeout, but with 4 fouls, I think he's going to try to move the ball somewhere else.
Yeah, Ziegler and Vescovy playing with 4 fouls. On the other side, Gary has 4. Ziegler got his arm ripped, no foul, and there's 2 seconds. Kumwa, 1 second, just got it off. Good box out that time by Gurley, who's played great. Quinterly has 18.
Yeah, Gurley didn't chase the ball, he chased his guy.
Shackelford, no. Rebound, Gurley, he'll kick it. Shackelford short. Big battle, bodies fly. Gary. They will keep the ball with Alabama. Good battle right now going on underneath each basket.
Ravi, we're going to see this for the next 2.5 months. Is that an Alabama game when they play Sweet Home Alabama? And it just happened at the last timeout.
Last time Alabama led, it was 35-33. Quinterly will keep that ball with 8 seconds to go. And a breakdown and a blow-by and an offensive foul. Javon Quinterly, that is number 4 on Quinterly. You know, the loose ball, Jimmy, caused him to get it with 8 seconds. He tried to create something, and that's a good job defensively by Kumwa to get in the way.
Kumwa came off the best shooter on the floor. Gurley tucked away in the corner. Quinterly's got to see it. As good as he is, he's got to make that pass to Noah Gurley in that corner with Kumwa coming off on the same side.
2 point guards both play with 4 fouls, Ziegler and Quinterly.
Alabama's not switching. If you're Tennessee, it's just set hard screens.
What a drop down, too. Ziegler, what a great pass to Kumwa, who laid it up and in.
Another hard cut for a layup. You win that battle, you win the game.
Alabama doesn't want to have an empty trip. Ellis, Shackelford. Money! Knocks down a 3, and we are tied at 65. James from the free throw line, down and out. Plavcic Blocked underneath. Gurley comes up with the biggest block of the night.
And that's your MVP for Alabama tonight. 0. Usually it's a glass battle right now, Ravi. It is a glass battle, not the first shot.
Well, Plavcic is on the bench. Ellis. Good switch, good help by James. They'll start again with 5 on the shot clock. And Shackelford to his left, throws it up high, and he gets it to go. Aiden Shackelford's 3, and now a 2 puts Alabama on top with a minute to go. Kumwa 3, got it! Kumwa's first 3 of the night.
60% though on the year is Kumwa.
Ellis will launch. He'll knock it down. All of a sudden, the bucket is enormous. Keon Ellis, 2 big threes in the last couple of minutes. And Alabama leads by 2.
Do they have enough to finish this game off? It feels like a must-win for Alabama.
I hear you. Ziegler and Vescovy each with 4 fouls. Quinterly and Gary. Here's Ziegler. Into the paint, the kick. Bailey's 3, no good. Davison with the rebound and a 2-point lead. And they will foul him. Well, they had a really good shot in the corner 3 for Victor Bailey. And he was unable to knock it down.
Rick Barnes opened the floor and let Ziegler go to work. Trusted the freshman point guard to make the right read and the right rim decision. He gets right in front of the rim. They set a little bit of a flare screen to free up Bailey. Just misses a wide open shot.
So J.D. Davison can turn the narrative about his night around if he's able to make some free throws. He's 2 of 2 from the line. Turnovers have been his story tonight with 8 of them. And he missed the first. So at the very least, Tennessee will have a chance to tie it. They'll bring in Powell, who's a very good three-point shooter. Take out Bailey.
Well, I think what that tells you is that right now Rick Barnes is going to trust the shot ability of Powell over Bailey. Bailey had his chance.
Yep.
Will Powell get his?
3-point game. Ziegler. Humwall. Ziegler. That's off. Rebound in traffic. Gurley. And listen to this crowd with no students on campus because of the holiday break.
Well, this fan base has their eyes set on Friday, the college football playoff, but their hearts right now are inside Coleman Coliseum, as it should be. And Alabama, they were getting punked on the glass early. They have fought their way back. They just got a huge D board with 15 seconds to go.
Rick Barnes is going to call a timeout. Gurley has not attempted a free throw tonight, but he goes to the line with 18. Both teams ranked without Fulkerson and Chandler. Big free throw from Gurley, and it's a 4-point lead.
Yeah, there will be a lot of games for that selection committee to look at across the country with that little asterisk beside it. They were without key player, key player, key player. It's just where we are in college ball. What a start to the season, huh? The SEC play tonight.
Absolutely. Well, huge credit to Tennessee for the way they battle without 2 of their star players. Just incredible. But now down by 5. And they got to get something up quick.
Yeah, now, like right now.
Come on, it's a 5-point game and not a 2-point game. They shoot a 3.